everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna, and this is For Pause in a Book. I make book and lifestyle related content, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. Today, we're gonna let Scattergories choose my TBR. Get into what is probably the clickbaitiness of the title of this video, let's talk about last month, or the month of October. We're still technically in the month of October. I read a lot of books in October. Unfortunately, they weren't these books. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I wanted to read the spooky book. So I kind of knew that this was going to happen. I kind of figured it was going to happen. I wanted to read the really spooky books, and Scattergories really didn't let me do that for the most part. So because of that, I didn't end up reading the books. It's fine. So we are going to be taking a punishment this month. But let's talk about how we did. I did read The Kiss Curse. I did read Dead Silence. I actually DNF'd Into the Midnight Void. And then I did not read Blood of the Chosen or Amari and the Great Game. Now, let's talk Scattergories as a whole, as a concept, and what's going to be going on in 2023. Like the title says, this is likely the last Scattergories that I will be doing as a monthly TBR. Doesn't mean it's going away, but we're going to try something new. Scattergories is 2.5 years old. The first time that I did Scattergories TBR was May of 2020. I have changed a lot since then. My channel has changed a lot since then. Honestly, the Scattergories game has changed a lot since then. And I thought it was time for a refresh, so I figured January would be the time to do it. We're going to be doing a new TBR game in January. I have a really cool idea for it, but I'm not going to be announcing that quite yet. If you are a member of my Patreon, we did talk about it, so you guys have insider information. But for now, I'm going to keep it under wraps. But I'm really excited about it. It's going to be really fun, and yeah, good things happening. However, I still really love Scattergories, right? I still love this TBR game, so we're going to be doing a Patreon readathon at the end, the last week of January for we're going to do Scattergorathon. And that'll be over on my Patreon. So Scattergories is not going away. It's just going to take a little bit of a break. I want to see how this new TBR game goes. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I bring Scattergories back. It's not the end of the world, but I do have really high hopes for it. So I hope it's gonna work. And because historically I don't really do a TBR in the month of December, I usually just try to mood read, finish up series, finish up books that I was in the middle of. Like, I never like to go into a new year with unfinished business. So historically I've just never done a December TBR. I think maybe one year I did, but I never stuck to it. So December won't have a Scattergories, so by default, November will be the last Scattergories as a monthly TBR. And I guess we're going out with a bang because we're going to have quite a few. I have my D12 dice here, which will be my normal roll, and then my D6, which will be my punishment roll, so we'll add those two together for how many pulls I'm going to be doing, and it's going to be a lot. I do have some plans that I'll be doing in November, not anything specific as far as reading clubs or anything like that. I will be reading The Kraken's Sacrifice by Katie Robert for the Late Night Cruise book club. I'm also going to be participating in Cassidy's readathon. I'll link her announcement video down below. It's kind of a create your own goals type of readathon, which I think is great for the end of the year. It's very chill, it's very lazy. And then the other thing that I'm going to be doing is NaNoWriMo, and Bethany from Beautifully Bookish Bethany created a video for that a couple of days ago. And that's essentially like NaNoWriMo, but for the people that are not writing. And I've done NaNoWriMo in the past, but my brain is just not in its writing creative mind right now. I have a lot of creative ideas, but they're all for videos, for content creation, not books, not writing. So I'm not going to be participating in NaNoWriMo, but I was feeling the FOMO. And so I actually was going to just create my own personal challenge of reading 5,000 pages. And then Bethany tweeted something out and then made a video about it. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So NaNoWriMo. That being said, let's see how many books we're going to be doing. My goal is going to be 5,000 pages for the month of November. I think that that's pretty accessible. I think I did that either 2 or 3 months this past year. So maybe my stretch goal could be 10,000 pages, but I don't think that that's doable. And then And the last thing that I'll be doing, which I probably will make a separate TBR for, is the final book support group created by Steph over at Steph Loves. That will be the final week of November, I think, like over Thanksgiving. And there are a couple of series that I would like to finish up prior to the end of the year. So that I'll also be participating in. Maybe I can get some of those on this TBR. Okay, let's see what we've got here. We're going to be rolling my regular one first. Oh, lovely. That's a 9. That's lovely. We love that. Okay, and then what's the 6? Oh my god. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And, oh god. And a 5. I quit. Oh god. Okay, I can do it. This is 14 books. I don't even know that. There's only been like 2 months that I've ever read 14 books. Is it done? Okay. It's fine.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently. That's okay. Things are gonna be okay.
You guys are gonna have to help me keep count of how many prompts I'm pulling, because this is not gonna be fun to edit. Okay, cool. Let's pick our first prompt. What am I doing to myself? At least technically, if I'm not doing one in December, maybe I'll just do I'm gonna end up having punishments. I'm not gonna finish this. Look at me being all like dejected already. Do I do a like December punishment round of Scattergories if I don't finish this? Yeah. This is actually still a Readathon prompt. It's fine. But this is a book that someone else wants you to read. That's actually fantastic because I have a couple of video projects that kind of works out really well for. And also, like, I'm in the booktube community. Everyone wants me to read something. This will work great. Okay. Okay, and we have an H. So let's find a book. For this prompt, I'm going to be reading Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This was sold to me as Regency era, but with fairies. And I was sold. This is a book that Cal from Retrieving Books has been like praising all year long, or this whole series all year long. The blurb on the cover says, whimsical but never frivolous, sweet but not sugary. And that's like my perfect brand of fantasy right there. I know very little about this book, but I kind of want to go into it blind. But Cal and I always have very similar ratings on books. We have very similar opinions on books. So I'm really excited about this one, and I know it'll be great. Okay, prompt number 2. And this is a female author. Pretty simple. Okay, and we have an N. This one ended up being a little bit harder than I thought. So I went to the A to Z TBR that I am doing, and I just went with the N for that. That's Nemesis, which is a paranormal organized crime romance book. And I think I found this one on TikTok because the like dedication page is like for those who wanted a little bit more spice in their Marvel movies. And so this is like superheroes, but like dark romance with a little bit of paranormal. I don't know, but it sounded good. It's on Kindle Unlimited. It's 240 pages, so it'll be super quick. And so I'm hoping that this will be good. Am I setting myself up for failure with this one? Probably. But we're going to be reading Artemis by Andy Weir. I have been told that this is his worst book, but it's on my shelf. It has been on my shelf for a very long time. This is the November 2017 book of the month. So like before my channel existed? Yeah. So it's definitely a vet. I really liked The Martian. I kind of sort of liked Project Hail Mary, so we'll see how this one goes. I like sci-fi. I like hard sci-fi books. So we'll see. This book is set on the lunar colony of Artemis, and our main character, Jasmine, is recruited for a like mastermind heist that will make her a billionaire, or will make her very rich. So she has to go from being her little smuggling self to a criminal mastermind and shenanigans. I don't want to say I don't like heist novels because I loved Six of Crows, but I can't say I've read many more. I guess Aurora Rising was a kind of a heist book. And I liked that one. So maybe I do like heist novels. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, 3 books down, 11 to go. I hope you got a drink because, you know, maybe a snack break at this point. It's gonna be a long one. This one I'm gonna end up having to stretch because it says read a book outside and it's gonna be November. So that might not happen, like outside. However, my car might work. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how this one will work. We might end up in second fall, but right now we're having first winter. So if we get second fall and I'm able to, like, I don't know, read on my lunch breaks or something outside, that might be a thing. If not, we might have to be really creative with this one. But that's okay. We can do that. We're all about creativity here. Maybe just outside my home. Maybe that's how that works. Okay, here's the letter. A W. That's such a hard letter. Okay, let's find a book. Okay, we're putting this back on the TBR because for some reason I didn't read it back then, but I'm going to be reading Shipwrecked by Olivia Day. This does come out in November. It's one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I have the ARC for it, and I, for some reason, haven't read it yet. Again, spooky reads. That's not a spooky read, but I have heard really, really good things about this. Bethany already read it and really, really loved it, so I have high hopes for this. I'm hoping it'll be a 5-star read. Shipwrecked is about a woman who years and years ago had an, like, either a relationship or one-night stand with another actor, and then now that they are on the Gods of the Gate, I think is what it's called, Gods of the Gates, they end up having to, like, they're acting opposite each other, and so there's gonna be some tensions, obviously some romance. Olivia Day does some of the best plus-size romance I've ever read, so I'm very excited about this one. The key to getting through all of these books is just to make sure that they're books that I really want to read. That's the only way that this is gonna happen. What worries me is that if I don't get all of the books that I have to read for video projects and stuff like that onto this TBR, then I also have to read those books, so yay. Okay, this is just a hyped book, so that means that everyone's talking about it on BookTube, or if I'm gonna stretch it, people are talking about it on BookTube. Here we go. I have a few that, like, would really work great for this. Okay, and we have a B. For this, I am going to be reading The Blood Trials by Annie Davenport. A lot of people have been talking about this one. Becca from Back in the Books read it. Mel from Eleanor Reads read it. And Bethany also read it. And they all really liked it. And I think that it's kind of compared to Red Rising. And I bought this on release day and then didn't read it. So it definitely has been hyped, especially like a couple of months ago when it did first come out. This cover is stunning. It kind of is this sci-fi fantasy blend, I think. The synopsis says, blending fantasy and science fiction, Annie Davenport's fast-paced, action-packed debut kicks off a duology of loyalty and rebellion in which a young black woman must survive deadly trials in a racist and misogynistic society to become an elite warrior. So this will be really great. It is a book that I'm working on for a project, so checking one off the box there. All right, that was 5 prompts. Let's do number 6. Okay, and this is an LGBTQ main character. Okay, let's pick a letter. We have a P. Let's find a book. I'm probably going to be kicking myself for picking a 600-page book for this. We're going to read Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. I should have read this during spooky season, and I didn't, so we're just going to kind of lean directly into that dark academia vibe and start with this. This book has 2 different timelines. One of it is in the early 1900s, and there is this boarding school, and this group of girls kind of creates this secret society called the Plain Bad Heroines, and they end up all dying, and the boarding school ends up closing down. And then we jump ahead to, I think, present day, and there was a book that was made about these girls, and now they are turning it into like a horror film, and so they're going back to this boarding school. There is a lesbian main character. I think there's a lot of queer characters in this, so it works for that. It's a chunker. I've had this book for like 2 years. This is an ARC copy that was created for Book Expo in 2020, and then obviously Book Expo didn't happen, so they just sent a bunch of people this. Okay, we're on to our 7th prompt. Here we go. This is an audiobook, which is fantastic because that's literally all I've been reading lately. Everything has been audiobooks, so this is pretty much, I just get free range. Okay, and we have a T. Let's find a book. For this prompt, I'm going to be reading The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. This book is on my self-destruct list, which is closely coming up. In fact, I think it actually is coming up in November. And there are a few books that are still on that. And of those, this one is probably the one that I am the most interested in. So here we are. In this book, our main character is a spy for a mysterious library. It's a shadowy organization that collects relics and artifacts from different realities, different works of fiction from different realities. And they are looking for this particularly dangerous book, but by the time they get there where it's supposed to be, it's already been stolen. This is a series, and I always hear really good things about this series, but then I haven't ever read it. I have on Pango, I have on my wish list the second book in this, but I want to finish this one before I read the second one, or before I buy the second one. If I don't like this, I'm not going to continue on, right? So this one will happen early in the month, probably. On to our second half. Here we go. And this is an Own Voices book. That should be pretty easy. I have quite a few of those. Yeah. So here we go. Okay, we have an M. Let's find a book. For this book, I really wanted to highlight Indigenous literature. November is Native American Heritage Month, and so it just makes sense for me to pick a book from an Indigenous publisher. And for that, I'm actually going to be going with a middle grade book called Healer of the Water Monster. And this was recommended to me from Thor over at Thor Wants Another Letter. I will have their channel linked down below. First off, this cover is... It's giving life. Like I said, this is a middle grade book. I didn't really know anything about it, and here we are. And this book is about a little boy who spends the summer with his grandmother on the Navajo reservation. He has been told this story about a water monster that's in need of help. Throughout the book, there are these spirits, these Navajo holy beings that help him save the water monster. And I think it's going to be really cute and really adorable. And yeah, I'm very excited about this one. I don't know if I've been counting correctly, but that was 8 prompts. So here we are with number 9. And this is a new to you author. Okay, here we are. I like to kind of shake it around a little. All right, and we have an L. For this book, I'm going to try to pick out a thriller. I feel like those will read super fast. So we're going to be reading Still Lives by Maria Hummel. This is about like an art show gone bad. A young editor at a Los Angeles art museum finds herself pulled into a disturbing and dangerous world of a famous artist who goes missing on the opening night of her expedition.
Did I just say expedition?
Exhibition. It's okay. We need to continue this TBR because I am clearly tired. This is another one that's on my self-destruct list, so we're just going to knock them all out at the very end. That's what we're going to do. Prompt number 10. Oh boy, okay. This is going to be crazy. Okay, we have a graphic novel. Thank Baby Yoda and all that is holy. Okay, let's do this. Okay, sorry about that. Had to pause because Amazon shut up and the dogs started barking. They're still barking a little bit. Okay, let's make out a letter. All right, we have an E. I don't even know that I have one for E, but let's find one. Okay, this might be stretching it, but it's the only one that I have that has an E. So we're going to be doing Doctor Who Afterlife, but it's 11th Doctor comic strip collection. So 11th. It's going to count. I don't know what this is. I'm pretty sure I got it on Book Outlet a long time ago. But it's the Matt Smith Doctor. So, yeah, it's just a comic strip collection. So, that's what that is. Okay, number 11. We are almost done. Here we go. Ooh, a 5-star prediction. Good, I need that. It's been a mediocre couple of months. All right, let's pick a letter out. All right, we have a B. I'm actually going to put Blood of the Chosen back on the TBR. I know that I will get to this early on in the month. I don't think that I will be able to read it by the start of November, so because I would like to finish the spooky books, and then I can read this like right away in November. And I do think this is going to be a 5-star prediction. Ashes of the Sun is like sitting up at the top of my favorite books of the year. We'll see where it ends up landing. So I do think that this one will be a winner. Number 12, we've only got 3 more left. A book you recently hauled. Fantastic. Right off camera is my book haul cart. So hopefully something's on there that I want to read. Or that will match. There we go. Of course I wanted to read all of these. Let's pick a letter and hope that the letter die can be nice. Yes. Oh, thank goodness. And L. I know exactly what I'm picking. I don't even need to turn the camera off. Hold on. Lore Olympus Volume 3. First off, it's a graphic novel, so yay for pages and reading quickly. And B, I have just been wanting to pick this one up since I got it on release day, and I've been wanting to pick it up, but obviously Spooky Reads haven't had a chance to. So this one will be read very early on in November. All right, 2 more prompts. Have all of the books that I need to read been on this? No, they have not. So we love that for me. Some of them have. But not all of them. This is just listen to an audiobook while doing chores. Love that. Love that energy. All right, let's do this. Okay, we have a G. Let's see what I can find. We're putting another massive book on here. However, I am going to be reading Chain of Gold with Cal and Margaret and whoever else in the BookTube support squad that wants to read this. So might as well put it on the TBR. We're going to be reading this towards the end of November in preparation for Chain of Thorns that comes out in January. So this will be November. Chain of Iron will be in December, and then Chain of Thorns. Is that right? Whatever the trilogy is in January. I don't know what this book is. It's like a sequel to the prequel. Is that right? Don't really know. I haven't read all of the City of Bones books, but I have read all the prequels, and I've been like spoiled on the City of Bones books, so I haven't really felt the real need to read them. So we're just gonna read this one. We're just gonna start here instead. If you are interested in reading along with us, I will have the BookTube Support Squad Discord linked down below. I'm gonna have so much stuff linked down below. Editing Brie, I'm so sorry, but that will be linked down below. If you want to read along with us, we'll have a channel down there. We're also going to be doing reading sprints and things like that. So here we go. Which also means that I'm going to have to do chores while on sprints. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, I counted to double check, but this is the last prompt. This is prompt number 14. Oh my god, this is going to be such a big TBR. We have a Book of the Month book. Cool. Love that. All right, and the final roll for this month. A B. See what I can find. Okay, I actually had several that could work for this, but I think for this one I am going to be picking Breathless by Amy McCullough. I got this one back in May of 2022, but this feels like a winter book, so this will probably be one that I read towards the end of the month, like, you know, our first big snowstorm, right? We've had like flurries of snow, but not like actual snow. This feels like a snowy book. This is about a woman who is climbing a mountain, like the 8th highest peak in the world or something like that, but then one of the like people in her expedition, see, now I'm questioning myself on, yeah, expedition is the right word in this case. One of the people in her expedition dies in like a freak accident, and then there might be, you know, a murderer in this group of people. We don't know, because the freak accident is not so accident, I guess. I don't really know. But this is giving me like no exit vibes, but for people who climb mountains. But I think the vibes are still going to be there. It's going to be very like closed in, very like, you know, the killer is among you kind of vibes. So yeah, very excited about this one. I was just kind of waiting for the season, the weather to change for this. Let me go stack up these books and get really scared at how tall that stack is going to be. It's fine. Everything's fine. There's all of these plus Shipwrecked, The Healer of the Water Monster, and Nemesis. So, Editing Brie, I'm so sorry to do this to you, but tell me how many pages that is. Tell me how many pages per day that's going to be. Maybe I will read 10,000 pages in a month. We don't know, because this is a lot. That's all I have for you today. I'll have everything linked down below that I said I was going to, so check things out down there. If you are new to my channel and you want to see the chaos, there's a little red button that you can subscribe down below. If you'd like to hang out with me more, I do have my very own Patreon. We have an exclusive Discord, other exciting perks, like I said. Readathon happening in January. All the links for that are down below, as well as the links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads. Thank you all for watching. If I don't die, I'll see you later.